Hello everyone, this is Spot, and welcome back to Shadowrun Returns Hong Kong. This is a story-driven, game, and so if you're starting in the middle, you should probably check the playlist link in the description and start from the beginning. And also, because it is story-driven and I like story, I'm reading everything I can get my hands on, so yeah, I've been warned. Alright, so we just came into, where did we just come in? It's been a few days. This is, we're in this woman's, the woman who was the Elder Decker. Elder Decker. I'm not sure that's a thing. And hopefully we don't have any issues. I'm actually, my chip's being overclocked right now, so, I don't usually overclock while I'm recording, but it just hit me a second ago and I didn't want to restart everything, so we'll see. If it starts acting weird, we'll know. Alright, this bin is full of assorted chips, peripherals, and add-on modules for cyber decks. They don't seem to be arranged in any coherent fashion and are spread across the felt surface. Search of the bin. Well, we're going to search it, duh. You sift through the display case, searching for anything that might prove interesting. Isabel peers past you into the bin as you search. That's interesting. There's a lot of storage memory, I/O handlers, and active memory in this bin. I'm not seeing any MPCP hardware, response increase chips, or anything relating to the hot shit decking Magpie was supposed to be into. In fact, you couldn't even build a full deck with this. Without the MPCP, it'd just be a glorified comlink. What do you think it means? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say somebody's cleaned her out. MPCP, response increase, biofeedback filters, and all that. They're easy to move, expensive, and highly illegal. All the rest of this crap is good, but it's nothing you could pick up, nothing you couldn't pick up at any electronics shop. You'd have to know what you're looking for, though. Only a good decker would know what they're seeing. Could Magpie have taken them with her? Isabel gestures toward one of the other displays. A pair of small cyber decks sit inside the locked case. I guess so, but if she did that, why would she leave the completed cyber decks? No, I think this was theft. Alright, interesting. What else we got in here? Over here. The front of the server's case hangs open, the inner machinery quiet and without power. A clipboard is stuck to the side by a piece of duct tape, its papers filled with a long list of programs and their prices. A quick glance over the program sheet reveals names like Bugs, Bugs, Bugs and Black Hammer. Undoubtedly, this was Magpie's attack program storage machine. Somebody's removed the drives, and it sure wasn't Magpie. Here, look. Isabel gestures to the innards of the open server. Near the back, a solitary red light blinks. The main drives were disconnected properly, but it looks like she modded the server to have a backup drive with its own battery-based power supply. If it was Magpie, she'd have taken that too. Crap. This is a Fuji XB1000. It looks like the battery power ran out a while ago. The XB1000s are constant write drives. They're dirt cheap and have a ton of capacity, but if they run out of power, they lose their data. We're not going to be able to get anything off the drive. Well, that's nice. Such luck we have. Magpie's desk. Magpie's desk is the kind of messy most people only associate with rats' nests, hoarders, and deckers. The surface of the desk is littered with cigarette butts, half-finished cans of soy calf, and scraps of electronics. A towering pile of empty instant noodle bowls sits next to it. Their sides are blazoned with Honest Wings Instant Old Time Lamayan, I'm totally pronouncing that wrong, I know, and depict a line of top hat wearing caterpillars dancing with canes. Well, that's what you want in your soup. Hey, awesome! I didn't think anybody but me liked Honest Wings noodles. That sounds bad out of context. Flavor like you've never tasted in a package of instant noodles, I promise. Gobet taps the side of one container. See? This one's cheese curry broccoli. I wonder why it never caught on, honestly. Cheese curry broccoli. Actually, that sounds like it might be pretty good. Duncan shoots you a sidelong glance, mumbling subtle voice. Gee, who could pass up the delicious taste of cheese, curry, and freeze-dried vegetables? Gobet seems oblivious to Duncan's sarcasm. I know, right? People out there have no idea what kind of culinary delights they're missing. Let's search the desk. You gingerly root around in the desk, doing your best to avoid the more disgusting piles and spills. It isn't messy. It isn't easy. The desk drawers are stuffed to overflowing with receipts, cigarette packs, optical chips, and cables. Most of the contents are boring, useless, and disgusting. While searching one of the bottom drawers, however, a low-quality tin lockbox catches your eye. Someone has pried the latch off, leaving a ragged hole where a lock used to be. Should be. The interior of the box, I assume, used to be as well. The interior of the box has several sleeves for storing key cards, all of which are empty. A small note is taped to the interior of the box. Spare stockroom keys. The door is in the rear of Mrs. Yang's restaurant. Do not lose these. Use only if I am not able to open the stockroom. A stockroom, huh? So who broke the lockbox to get the keys out? Maybe it was one of the elders. They had the key for this place. Probably whoever cleaned out Magpie's equipment. We're gonna go with this one. I'm thinking you're right. Whoever tore the latch off the box was in a hurry. Any of the elders could have cracked the maglock without much trouble, and most regular Wempoans could too. This seems like somebody who was tossing the place and wanted to get in and out as fast as possible. If someone was after Magpie's gear, her stockroom would be a gold mine. Okay. So now her stockroom is in the back of the restaurant, right? You search Magpie's bathroom. There's not much in here. A toothbrush, toilet paper, some hairpins, and a collection of cheap makeup. The combination bath shower unit, however, has minor flakes of a dry reddish substance near the drain. Blood. Dried blood. Prying open the drain cover, it looks like quite a bit of it was shed as well. Ew. Shit. Maybe Magpie didn't take a trip after all. With that amount of blood, I'm guessing someone killed her quietly and then drained her blood in the bath. It'd make it cleaner to relocate. Ew. That doesn't seem to match the killer's other scenes, though. I'm thinking there's a lot more going on with these murders than we were initially told. First, they don't even mention Magpie to us, and now it looks like she's been killed. Something's not right here, Spot. Let's not mention this to the elders. If they're hiding anything, they may start cleaning up their tracks better. I agree, Duncan. Alright, so we're going to go back over here. I don't think we missed anything. That's good. Back out into the night. Oh, look, it's raining. So, when I'm recording, I'm not sure why, but whenever my graphics card is doing much at all, I have a second machine which I have an audio cable running to so I can get the thing, and it buzzes just a tad, which is a bad sign. But anyway, it buzzes just a tad. Every once in a while, I'll forget to turn it off when I'm recording. I'll be like, oh crap. Well, if you hear that slight buzzing sound in the background, it sounds a lot like that. So every time, even the last few episodes when we've been in this area, I'm like, oh no, I forgot. Oh no, it's not that. And then I'll come out and forget. Oh no, I forgot. Oh no, it's not that. All right. So we are doing, actually, should we talk to Zippy again? Oh. Hello? That's weird. Hey again, how can I help you? See you later. Okay, no, we're not talking to Zippy again. Like, if you hover over them like this, it doesn't... Oh no, it actually does. That's really weird how it works. Okay. Let's go look this direction because we did see the thing about what's her name's restaurant, right? We went over here before. I want to see if it opened up. Ah, here we go. Okay. The man in front of this stall is rooting through a box of music chips with the swift fingers of someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out a constant stream of distorted, atonal music. The stall's proprietor is nowhere to be seen. Can you believe this? They've got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60, the unreleased Enoch Ian Keys double chips show from Brazzaville, and absolutely 0 chips from Shotgun Bloom. Shotgun Bloom, that's a really cool name. This stall's stuff is purely second rate. Hey man, don't get down on Echelon 60. I saw them when they played that unlicensed show at the old Choco Tart factory out in Sunzwan. The show was amazing, even if the police had to break it up midway through the second set. The music aficionado waves his hand dismissively. The show might have been great, but come on, Echelon 60's old news. They're already being mainstreamed. I saw a Trid ad for the new Mitsubishi Ostro scooter, and they were using Main Volt Underbus as the backing music. Made me sad, I tell you. The Decker inclines his head politely toward you. Mo Geneb? Or just Mo Nebi? Mo Nebi? Mo Nebi at your service. Decker, technologist, music fan. You're not from around here, are you? You don't hold yourself like a native. Not Wempoa Garden, no. Mo runs a hand through his hair, shaking the collected rain off of it. I thought so. What brings you out here? I'm trying to find out who's been killing the elders. The Decker pauses a moment, face falling. Oh, that's a nasty business. I heard Tong died tonight. I don't know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like a really bad scene. I'm trying to keep my nose out of it. Still, I like this place. Is there anything I can do to help? Well, actually, what can you tell me about the Wimpoans? Know anything about the murders? What's your area of expertise? Magpie Shop is missing a lot of the gear. Know anybody who might be fencing it? What can you tell me about the Wimpoans? We're a collection of freaks, geeks, nerds, and tech junkies. This place may look like a third world bazaar, but believe me, we have stuff here that's cutting edge in almost every field. Mo swells with pride and plants both hands firmly on his hips. Maybe it's not as advanced as the stuff the Megas have in their development labs, but it's as advanced as anything you can find in a store. People come from all over the world to buy and sell here and work out deals for big shipments. We've got contracts with every pirate and smuggling group in the South China Sea, and every major syndicate and gang in the Free Enterprise Zone knows not to mess with us. Not only are there a lot of us, nobody wants to lose what we're selling. The Red Dragon made a play 4 years ago, but we chased him out. Mo gestures with both hands as if shooing away a bothersome insect. Scooted off back to Ho Man Tin, and they've never been back. Good for you, that's how you survive. Sounds dangerous, you must have pissed them off. It's all about playing the angles. Yeah, it pissed them off, but then we sold goods to the Yellow Lotus at a discount. In exchange, the Yellow Lotus kept them off our back. You don't have to beat up the big guy to win. You just have to make him step back so the other big guys see he's off balance. Stand-up fights are for the Megas. We're about survival, just like everybody else in the shadows. Know anything about the murders? I'm trying to stay as far away from it as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important, and all the talk about monsters is just plain dark. I'm not afraid of monsters, but I don't want to get their attention. All I know is that a couple months ago, we had elders, Nakamura, Yatunde, Gon, and Magpie, and now we don't. I've heard about Magpie. Sounds like she was kind of vicious. To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewdish old badger of a person. It was always her way or the highway. She'd butt heads with the other elders over damn near anything. The last fight she had was with Tang over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro-drones into a deep fryer and threatening to kick his ass around the block. Interesting, so Tang, huh? What was her line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop's called the Jack Point. Not very imaginative, I know. She always had the hottest programs, best chips, and made some killer decks with anybody willing to pay her rates. It cost plenty of Noonien, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. If you want to know more about her, you should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here who got along with Magpie. You can probably find him by the MTR station. He loves the steamed bun cart over there. Who doesn't like steamed buns? I mean, come on. You should see me when I come out of a sauna. What's your area of expertise? I'm a decker. I used to be a company man for years, pushing code on their servers, smearing the little cyber pukes that would try to get into our secure systems. I made a pretty good living. Had my own place on the 48th floor in a corporate skyscraper. It was the kind of thing the Sims teach you everybody reaches for. The dream life. How'd you end up here? I found out the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well and kept me in creature comforts, but I accidentally looked over some misfiled reports while cleaning out a company data store. Turns out one of the company security riggers had gotten drunk and blabbed about some project or other being over budget and behind schedule. That's not good. It'd be a fireable offense, right? Mo purses his lips, his gaze going distant for a moment. I bet they killed him. Well, I guess upper management was worried that info would hurt their stock ratings by a fraction of a point or two, so they fired the guy. With a 308 round, right through the skull. Yeah, sounds about right. That seems drastic. No, that would not seem drastic in this world. I don't even know why I would respond that way. Should have known that's how the corporations handle problems. There we go. Well, I sure as hell know it now. You get a wake-up call like that, it'll really open your eyes. It may only have been fractions of a point, but that was still tens of millions of Noonien. I guess that went beyond a firing offense, directly into murder territory. What's worse, since I now knew about both the project and the murder, I could be next in the firing line. I knew I wasn't worth the expense to hunt down as long as I kept my head down, so I came out here, looking for like-minded deckers. I guess I ended up staying because I could get a semblance. Wow, I can't talk today. Semblance of community over here, and I couldn't get that many other places. Magpie shop is missing a lot of gear. Know anyone that might be fencing it? Wampoa Garden? No way. Most people are too shit scared of Magpie to pull that, and I definitely recognize anything of hers. She watermarked every program and engraved every chip. Wanted people to know where the good stuff came from. There's not a lot of places to hide that kind of gear around here. We're all packed pretty tight, and this place gossips like a mahjong parlor at tea time. Huh, mahjong parlor. Funny you should say that. If I were you, I'd ask any other outsider types you can if they've heard something. Nobody local would risk bringing Magpie's ire down on them, or the rest of the Wampoans. We might cheat other people, but we don't steal from each other. Anybody who gets caught doing that would get kicked out or worse. See you later, Mo. He's an interesting guy. Now we get to talk to this massive guy who's very scary looking. But he looks pretty badass here. Breaker who? An imposing troll stands at the front of a stall overflowing with weapons of all sorts. Pistols, rifles, and even brass knuckles overflow into the rug around him. Ho there! You look like a man who understands the value of self-defense. Breaker who at your service, and I can promise you I can help you defend yourself. What do you say? Want to take a look? So he's a salesman, I see. I'm more interested in information. Yeah? Tell me what you want. Maybe I can help you out. Anything about the murderers? What are your impressions of the Wampoan elders? Can't say I associate much with them. They organize big trade deals with the Lohojoa pirates, the triads, and legitimate businesses. They tell us if somebody's been blacklisted and dispense justice when someone breaks the rules. Beyond that, they leave us alone, and I leave them alone. I'm just not important enough to register on their radar. Know anything about the murders? Just the elders have been getting hacked apart. I've tried to stay away from it all. No sense painting the crosshairs on my own forehead, right? The troll shrugs indifferently. I'm nobody important, and I aim to keep it that way. Anything about Elder Magpie? Never met her, thank God. She ran with the Deckers mostly, since she dealt in chips and software. I heard she was hard to work with. I like the phrase I overheard. I think the phrase I overheard was that she shrieked like a harpy with a fresh corpse. I don't know. You should ask Zippy, though. He's a sharp one with a deck, so he'd know her better than most. Okay, they're all pointing us to Zippy, which we've already talked to. Aside from Tong, who slings the BTLs around here? The Red Spear Gang. They run up in here sometimes, but... okay, objectives added. They run up in here sometimes, but don't cause any trouble. Check out the parking garage south of here, though. They usually hole up in there. Step light, though. If they don't know you and your cop and attitude, they'll put you in the ground. Okay, that's good to know. Funny thing, I heard there was a shootout with some Hong Kong police in the garage a month ago. I was away in Beijing at the time, so I didn't see it directly. But everybody was talking about it when I got back. Why is that funny? Because we don't let the HKPF in here most times. We shoot at them if they try. Every time they come in here, it's bad for us because they're always looking for a scapegoat. Why would the elders let them in? Nobody knows. That's interesting. Alright, there's definitely more here than meets the eye. Love the aesthetics. Who's this? Let's talk to this guy. This dumpy-looking man is busily hawking a variety of grilled spherical treats of various sizes. Some are sold individually, some are skewered on sticks, and some are packaged up in sets of 4 or 6. A sign on the front of the cart reads, Kietes 1 yen yate? A cacophony of small trid screens are attached to the cart, each playing a different trid show. Interest you in some dingo? Takoyaki? Maybe a nice nukaman? That's a pork bun with a Japanese twist. Any kind of tasty Japanese treat you can imagine. I've got it. Maybe some curry fish balls are your speed. Kieta will give you your heart's desire, providing that desire is on my menu. Let me have some dingo. Okay. Your wish is my command, good sir. Kieta deftly pulls one of the dingo sticks out of the cart and drops it under the grill. A small robotic arm slides out from the cart and begins turning the stick until the balls of rice flour are toasted brown color. That sounds good. Lifting them from the grill, Kieta dips the entire stick in a tub of sticky brown sauce before handing it to you. That sounds really good, actually. The snack has both a sweet and salty flavor, reminiscent of sesame seeds and soy. The balls inside are pleasantly warm and surprisingly chewy, a bit like eating raw dough, but without the attendant chalky taste. That sounds amazing, and I want some right now. Kieta leans back, studying you intently. The trid projections from his cart cause his face to be lit in a constantly shifting array of rainbow hues. So, what brings you to Whampoa Garden, my friend? Somehow I doubt it's just the street food. Kieta shivers, wrapping his arms around his body. I've been hearing a lot about that. Haven't looked too closely, though. It's just none of my business, you know? What can you tell me about the people here? We're tech heads, deckers, riggers, trid pirates, and everything in between. If I had to define this place, I'd say it's Asia's mecca for people like us. As for the elders, I can give you the basics. I'm a small fry, so we're not exactly on social terms. Nig's some kind of crazy tech witch. She summons up spirits and casts spells and works as the spiritual center of the tribe. She's a lot craftier than she seems, too. She has this mother-to-everyone act going on, but I've watched her manipulate people into doing all kinds of stuff they wouldn't normally do, and they thought it was their idea the whole time. Magically, you mean? No, I don't think so. She's just really good with people. Ip's a killer. Addicted to cybernetic implants, he always has to have the newest and freshest gear. The funny thing is, I've never seen him fight. Kind of get the impression he's a coward. He'd rather let one of his buddies handle a problem than do it himself. All I know about Tang is that he loves drones and does a little decking. Frankly, I find him kind of boring, and he talks about is neural networks, dark knowledge, and evolution of machine learning. Like I said, boring. What's with all the trid screens? Kieta beams and gestures excitedly at them. You like them? I love trid operas. Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indonesian. It doesn't matter. This way I can watch all my favorite shows without missing a beat, and I can work at the same time. It's funny. Pirated trid is my other business. I rip the streams in the Matrix, tap right into the corporate feeds, and resell them on chip out here. Kieta's face falls a bit, and his enthusiasm wanes. I wish it could pay the bills, but my food cart's a lot better at that. I don't know why, but most of the other Whampoans seem to like Sim over Trid. They don't know what they're missing, though. One episode of 1,000 Cranes of Autumn and they'd be hooked for life. I'm just at the point where Orin has confessed her love to Takayama, but he's got to get his mech suit out to the front lines on Mars, so he can't be with her. Downright heartbreaking, I tell you. Very, totally heartbreaking. Sounds like an interesting show, right? Eyes twinkling, Kieta leans forward in breathless excitement. Oh, you have no idea. 312 episodes chronicling a noble mech pilot and the tumultuous love affair he has with the space station governor's daughter. The pathos, the majesty, the Battle of Lagrange 1 spans 5 episodes just by itself. For some reason, I guess it just didn't resonate with the wider public. I don't know why. Who doesn't want to see a trid show about giant flying robots, love, betrayal, and spies? That is actually a very good point. I've got to stop myself before I get carried away. Was there something else you needed? Got any thoughts on the murders? Yeah, ignore them. Kieta shrugs indifferently. I saw the crowd down at Tong's Sensory Carnival earlier tonight, but I didn't know the guy very well. I'm a trid fan. He liked The Sims. Not a lot of crossover between us. See you later, Kieta. Okay. So pretty. Oh, hello. Let's go talk to this person. Who is this? Demurgo? This man has a tired, world-weary demeanor about him. His eyes track your movements with a penetrating, critical precision. Something about him, the lines about his eyes, perhaps, makes you suspect he's seen a lot of terrible things happen. He lifts his cup of cheap soy calf as you approach. Let me guess, you're the freelancers the elders are paying to look into the murders around here. That's right, who are you? Call me Demurgo. I'm not one of the Whampoans, but I've been here long enough that they don't think twice about me being here. Demurgo drains the last of his soy calf in a large gulp. So what have you found so far? You're awfully curious for a random guy. I had to take a drink of my soy calf. Professional curiosity. I used to be with the New York Police Department as part of their thaumaturgical research division. part of the CSI branch, except I did the magical investigation while the other guys pulled prints and checked blood samples. Ooh, interesting. Demergo tosses the soy-calf cup toward the nearby garbage can. It bounces around the rim and rolls inside. When I hear about shit like this happening, I keep my ear to the ground. Old habits, you know. So why aren't you investigating it? Seems like you're more cut out for this job than I am. Elder Nig asked me to look into the killings after the first murder. She couldn't afford my fee, though, so I took a pass. It's not just the money, either. Demergo shudders, folding his arms across his chest. You see that stuff day after day, you pay a price. It eats away at you. I bet. You know what it's like to feel all that sickness and anger every day, to be asked to pick up a murder weapon and relive somebody's death, feel it going into your neck, pleading in the voice of a dead woman for her killer to spare you? These days, I'd rather interrogate the living, thanks. That sounds awful. Awful. It's more than awful. It's a goddamn nightmare is what it is. One I couldn't wake up from for a long time. Sometimes you have to cut and run. Start fresh. At least now I can pick my own jobs. I can read objects. It's called psychometry. A little trick I managed to pick up. Don't really know how. I hold something. I can tell you what happened to it. Who owned it, how it killed someone, if someone loved it, or was afraid of it. Useful, but it'll tax your heart. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to read anything you find. I already told Nig I didn't want any part of this. You want advice? I'll give you that, but I'm not getting drawn in further than that. So aside from that, is there anything I can help you with? What can you tell me about the Wampoans? I don't know much. Even though I've been here almost 2 years, I'm an outsider. They don't really accept anyone who's not as much of a tech nut as they are. I'm just the crazy mage that lives down the road. Demergo pauses and looks off into the distance as he collects his thoughts. Lip's got some heavy-duty cyberware, basically an enforcer for the rest of the council. He doesn't seem to set much policy. Nig is a shaman that worships machine spirits. It's all a bunch of hokum, if you ask me. Magic is magic. Whatever you want to call the source is fine by me, but don't ask me to believe in the great spirit of electronics. As for everybody else, they tend to be an okay bunch. A bit strange, but that's fringe culture for you. They scrounge tech, rebuild it, sell it off. Some of them even have their own auto-fab shops. Their stuff's pretty high quality, too. People from all over Asia come to shop here. If they need something rare or unusual, tight-knit little community, all things considered. What do you know about the murders? They started a couple weeks ago. Elder Gan was the first to go. That's when Nig asked if I could look into them. He was ripped apart, arms wrenched out of their sockets, skin flayed away with a razor-sharp knife. The rest have been the same. Whatever did it sure didn't care about it being a clean death. Demergo lowers his voice, leaning in toward you so that only you can hear. The funny thing is, the Hong Kong police force was out here a few weeks before that. Maybe a month ago, tops. I know that doesn't seem like much, but the Wampoans don't usually let the police in here. That by itself is odd enough, but it gets even stranger. The officers were loaded for bear, too. Big guns and heavy armor with NBC seals. The works. They went into the parking garage near here, and there was some kind of gunfight. Never made it back out. When backup showed up, the Wampoans chased them away. Why would they let cops in and chase them away? That's exactly the kind of question you should be asking, and that the elders refused to answer when I asked. Demergo shrugs. Go take a look for yourself if you want. Watch out, though. A gang's taking up residence in there, dealing drugs and BTLs. They call themselves the Red Spear. Not too violent, if you don't push them, but be careful what you say. Tong wasn't afraid when he died. He was caught by surprise. Demergo arches an eyebrow. That's not what I would have expected. With the amount of mess at each scene, the victim should have left behind a hell of a lot of fear and pain. Are you sure? Very sure. Tong died tonight, so the astral signature hasn't had time to fade. There was only a sense of perfunctionatory accomplishment. Then it sounds like this wasn't a crime of passion. A planned attack would have that kind of resonance, in my experience. It's possible the gore show is to throw off anyone looking for the actual reason. Demergo closes his eyes and starts to nod. Yeah, if I wanted to kill someone and get away with it, I'd try to point the finger at some kind of monster. Demergo opens his eyes and smiles a thin, humorless grin. Basic Investigation 101. It's usually the simplest explanation, but don't discount other possibilities. You think the mess wasn't incidental? It's a possibility. Ask yourself this. If the mutilation happened after Tong's death, why would a killer perform that kind of ritual? Serial killers who engage in that kind of ritual don't feel perfunctory about it, in my experience. It tends to feel more like they're taking communion. it's religious or sexual feeling most of the time. If this doesn't feel that way, I don't think the killer is actually pathological. Interesting. Very interesting. Let me just walk over here real quick, make sure there's not anyone else that we didn't miss. Any of these people become active? Nope. Alright. Then it looks like the place to go is over here. Into the parking garage. Hello. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cut here. And in the next part, we will talk to these Red Spear people. And hopefully not get in a massive firefight, because that would probably be counterproductive. Maybe. But probably, yeah. Alright. I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.
We're going for the moon.
Hey there, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. If you'd like to see more, just click subscribe. Come say hi to me on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, any of those. I hope to see you next time.